Okay. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal, and this is In My Own World Tarot. And this is the next 48 reading for all signs Aries to Pisces. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, if you're new to my channel, I pray before each and every one of my readings, so that way my energy is protected, your energy is protected as well. Also, cuss. May cuss a lot, may cuss a little, may not cuss at all. It all depends on how I feel. If you're watching any tarot reading, please use your own discernment because the tarot cards are just an illustration of the messages that the messenger is providing, okay? So it will be interpreted different types of ways. Also, if you're new to my channel with the all signs reading, I encourage you, if you do not like a conversational form of a tarot card reading, the timestamps will be provided below in the comments. So if you don't like the first part of the reading, I suggest you click off now, come back when the timestamps are posted, and then post for the actual reading with the cards, okay? Because I always start off my readings with some type of either conversation, a rant, or a message. So if you don't like that, click off, come back, go to the comments, and click for the actual timestamps, okay? But what I wanted to talk about today, which brings me to my point, is that I've noticed, especially in the last couple of days, that a lot of people think that they are conversationalists when you're actually a debater. And what I mean by that is that there are often times when you hear people say, oh, she talks too much, or he talks too fast, or that's too much information. But is it? Because a lot of times when you're led to someone, every conversation that you're led to that you think someone's talking too much or talking too fast is meant for enlightenment. Now, the enlightenment could be good or bad. The enlightenment could be someone telling on themselves. The enlightenment could be something that you're realizing about yourself that you do, or something that you needed to know about yourself. Or the enlightenment could just be information that you didn't know that you even needed, and you end up finding out. I always tell people, stop cutting people, and I had to learn, stop cutting people off. You ever been in the grocery store and you just run into the random elderly person, you just have a conversation with them, and then you go sit in your car and you drive away, be like, man, that lady talks so much. But then your next thought is that I never thought about XOXXXX, whatever they said. You see what I'm saying? Everyone always does that. And tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. You always say, man, that person talks so much. But then you say, like, but their next thought is what they were talking about. He's like, man, you know what? I didn't even know that, or I never thought about it that way. Stop cutting people off that you say talk too much or they talk too fast. Because there was something in that conversation that you needed. Either it was an enlightenment of the truth. Something you didn't know. Somebody, you catching someone in a lie, you'd be like, ha. But you don't have to go back and say ha. And then also I realized people in conversations, I love to have conversation. No, you like to debate people. You ever been in a conversation with someone and everything they say or they say, somebody has a critique of what the other person is saying? That's not a conversation. That's you debating someone on their own personal opinions and thoughts. And that's a control issue. You're not a conversationalist. You're a debater and you're an antagonist. It's like people get confused with like, oh, I'm a great communicator. No, you're not. Because if you're a great communicator, you would know how to listen and how to be open-minded and accept someone else's opinion. And then the thing is, people really believe that they have to form their own opinion and theories on someone else's opinions and theories. No, that's not it. You should be open. Do you have to follow and live by someone else's opinions and theories? Absolutely not. But it does not make you a great conversationalist when you're debating someone else's opinion and theories. What it makes you is an antagonist. That's what it makes you. And it makes you not a good listener and not a good conversationalist. It's like people get that confused, like, oh, I have conversation with so many people. Yeah, but you're debating them on what they're coming across and what they're telling you instead of taking it in as knowledge, or just taking it in as, okay, well, that's how you look at things. You accept people for who they are. And a lot of people think they accept people for who they are, and no, they don't. Because if you accepted someone for who they were, you wouldn't question how they move. You wouldn't question their theories on life. You would just simply be like, well, that ain't for me. And that's okay. It's all right to be like, that ain't for me. But you don't have to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that. Why do you do that? Why you just can't say that ain't for me? Because how you rock and how you live your life, it may not be for someone else either. And they may not agree with it. But they're not going to debate you. They're going to be like, that ain't for me. That's why we can't come together as a collective, because we can't accept each other. We think we do. But if we did, you wouldn't cut people off. You wouldn't be like, oh man, that lady talked too much, or she talked too fast, and she always got something to say. Did you ever really listen though? Because if you listen to sometimes to people who talk too much or talk too fast, but you're the one in a stagnant place, but this person is moving forward. You see what I'm saying? This person who talks too much is open-minded. A lot of people that talk so much or they talk fast listen a lot too. And that's why they have so much to say about self, about their own opinions, about their own theories of life, because they are actually great observers of the world. And they're able to move forward. I look at things and I have a totally different perspective of life, because I'm one of those people who talk a lot and talk pretty fast. But I'm also one of those people who are quiet, and I sit with self a lot. And I also observe a lot. And I also just let people speak. I had to learn to just let people speak. Let people speak. Because you're going to find out, if you just let someone talk, you're going to find out several different things. They're going to tell on themselves. If you just keep letting somebody talk without interruption, let them talk. Especially like if it's like a confrontational thing and you know somebody lying to you, let them talk. Let somebody talk. They're going to tell on themselves. Let that old lady you find walking in your neighborhood, let her talk. Because guess what? Even if you don't agree with her lifestyle, this lady has been here 30, 40, 50 years longer than you have. She's experienced more of life than you. Is her way of life maybe still confined to her little shell? But guess what? That knowledge she knows of this little square that she kept in, something in there you could use for your life to move forward. You see what I'm saying? Let people talk. Let people talk. Yes, you're gonna be aggravated, but if you're in a rush, be like, listen. Or even if like, hey, I'm in a rush, I gotta go. I'll get back to you. And if you never get back to that person, that means God's like, okay, well, that wasn't meant for you to have a conversation with the person. Don't force it. But if you actually go out throughout your day and it keeps circling around in your mind, like, I really need to get back to that person because there was something in that conversation that you needed from that person. Some type of enlightenment. And remember, enlightenment can be good or bad, but enlightenment is meant to reveal the truth. And the truth is not always a positive thing. And that's what we don't realize in today's society, because we're so quick to cut people off because we think we know best when you don't really know shit. If you really think about it, you don't. Nobody knows everything. No one knows everything. You have to be open-minded. You have to be. Be open-minded. Doesn't mean you have to agree. And I think a lot of people think, oh, well, because if I don't agree with this person, I don't need to talk to them, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You ain't got to agree with nobody. People might not agree with you. So just because somebody doesn't agree with you, so everyone you don't agree with, you don't need to have around you. You don't need them for certain purposes, or you don't need an enlightenment. It is not going to move you to a different way of looking at it. Like, if you feel at that way, that means you're not as open-minded as you say you are. You know, people really need to really look at the full perspective. And to be honest, people don't. They don't. So that's the message for today. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. All right. Excuse me. Great God in heaven, please allow me to tap to the energy of the collective, Aries to Pisces. Any message that they're needing, any guidance that they're seeking today. Please allow me to relay these messages to them as accurately and clearly as possible. Please protect my energy during this reading, protect their energy as well. Please continue to bless our lives with peace, abundance, prosperity, and protection. Thank you, amen, and ashe. Like, for real. I've learned so much by conversations of just letting people talk. I've learned things about myself. I've learned how to move forward. Shoot, I've learned how to navigate credit-wise. And I didn't have to pay no credit counselor just by letting somebody talk and sharing their experience with me. I'm like, oh, and people just drop gems on you if you just let them speak. People just want to know what they want to know at that moment. And that's what keeps you stuck. It does. Nobody wants to admit that because everybody thinks they know everything when you don't. If you knew everything, books wouldn't exist. I'm just saying. If you knew everything, you would have never picked up a book. You would never be coming to tarot. If you knew that what you doing was completely correct, you wouldn't be outsourcing for different information. So something deep inside you saying, I don't know everything. But then there's another part of you saying, oh, well, this person's wrong. This person ain't right. Nobody, and I've always said this, no one is wrong and no one is right. What matters is what fits for you. How I live my life may not fit for you. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. How you live your life may not fit for me. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Stop telling people, oh, they wrong. You wrong. You right. You don't know who's wrong or right because none of us are God. Just say it don't fit for me. People don't understand that anyways. You got to be careful of that. And that's the tactic of manipulation too. And control. Oh, you talk too much or you da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, you don't listen. And if stop having that conversation with that person you think that talks too much. Because you should, instead of be like, oh, that person talks much, I'm not ready to grow. I'm not ready to hear the information. I'm not ready to be enlightened. Sometimes you got to look back at yourself and be like, man, I'm not ready to be enlightened. Because you're cutting off a message. Think about it like that. We are Aries. Void course of the moon. Divine stoppage. What this is talking about is the divine stepping in to play a stop here. You could have had like a legal situation. Some legal situation. God is like putting a stop to it, or you're getting like dismissed. I'm hearing like dismiss. Divinely orchestrated dismissal. This could just be you being dismissed from a job, honestly, for you to focus on something else. Taurus. So Taurus here is the 4th house, which is here with the number 10, Saturn energy, which is boundaries here. Putting up boundaries around your house. Who comes, who goes. This may be putting up boundaries around yourself as well. Or understanding that your boundaries, especially in regards to your emotions and how you let people in, they may not have been as strict as you thought they were. And it's time for you to set stronger boundaries. Gemini, Jupiter, abundance, looking at the positive side of life as per usual. Okay? Knowing that things will balance out. This is like balancing out the masculine and feminine energy within you with the number 7, which is Libra energy, which is balance, but doing it in a more positive way. You know, tempering yourself. Tempering yourself is what I'm getting. Remember, this is just the next 48. Okay, but it doesn't have to necessarily be the next 2 days. It could always carry forward for the rest of your life, some of these messages. Don't ever just take the timing of the video. The timing of the video is more for me, so I can just stay consistent with my channel. But the messages could last forever. Okay? Cancer. You got Uranus energy, the genius. You know what you know, and that's what it is. You guys been getting this energy for a while now. Looks like you're really stepping into it. And this is a lot of Jupiter energy. We know Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, but Jupiter is the ruler of faith, optimism. Knowing that you do have faith and knowing that it is going to take you forward. And sometimes that's all you need. You know that saying, the faith of the mustard seed? That's all you need. It is. You know, it's like those, and I'm not judging anyone. I'm just telling you what works for me. It's like when you hear about something new, like you get introduced to crystals. Then you go to the crystal shop and you see all these crystals. It's like hundreds of thousands of them. I don't even know because my knowledge is not too versed in crystals, but I know about them. I don't know too much. So I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about shit I don't know too much about. But it's like you go there and you get so overwhelmed because it's so much in there and you don't know where to start. Then you go to the register and hopefully you're at a good crystal shop with real crystals and the person tells you how to pick out your crystals. You know, like whatever leads you, and then you put your hand over it, and whatever one you lead to, that's the one for you. You're being guided. And so how you're taking life right now, Cancer, and how you should, or in the next 48 hours, and like I said, forever, is that you're going with what feels right and what you know to be right for you. The crystal shop approach. Leo. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. You got the North Node in the reverse. A little confusion about how you should move forward. Are you moving forward in the correct way? Here's how you know if you're moving forward in the correct way, or if what you're supposed to be doing is right for you. When you get up for the day, let's say you got to go to work, you got your open your business, you are an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you have to do, check with how you feel. Now, every day is not going to be a great day. Like, yes, I get to get up and do this, and I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you ninjas. Everybody's going to have those days where you just don't feel like getting out of bed. But check with yourself. Test yourself for a week. 5 out of those 7 days. Are you feeling groggy? Do you not want to go? Do you not even want to get dressed? There's something about that ain't right in what you're doing. 5 out of those 7 days, you're consistent with your sleep pattern. You're consistent with your schedule. You're on time. You're happy when you get there, even though, you could have, I forgot my lunch. Even if it's something little, you forgot your lunch or something like that. Like, man, I got to go on my lunch break and go get me something to eat, this and that. But are you aggravated once you get there? You be like, oh, well. Anyways, and you keep going on with your day. Like, check with yourself. A lot of people don't really check with themselves. A lot of times you are or you are not in your right field. A lot of times society makes you think you're not in the right field because of how someone else feels, which is projection. Because you got a coworker who complains about the shit every goddamn day. But you're like, really check with yourself. Like, am I allowing their complaints to make me feel some type of way about what I'm doing? Do I actually feel that way? Like, really check with yourself. Even if you got to stop talking to someone, just be like, okay. Because it's a lot of times, and that's going back to conversations. Having a conversation with someone is just that. I'm not talking about somebody complaining and arguing with you. That's not a conversation. That's a debate. That's confrontation. It's not a conversation. Are you having the right conversations with yourself and with others? Or are you having debates and confrontation and you think that is conversation? So I'm going to say about that. Virgo, endings and new beginnings. You about to close. You closing out cycles, Virgo. You are. A lot of revelation energy, a lot of things. This feels like cold turkey. It's like jumping out of something and jumping right into something and like just leaping, taking a leap forward. That's having faith here. The sun going towards your happiness with the number 5 here. But you got to end some things before you can begin something new. Everybody knows that. If you don't know that, you know now. Because even if you don't end something, it's always going to represent itself, maybe just in a different form because you didn't close out that chapter the right way. It's still there. You cannot hide from shit, especially when you step into this spirituality thing and you call yourself an awakened being. You can't move. It's going to represent itself. It is. It is. I mean, I've told y'all the story before about I got a new car and then the new car started having the same car as my old car did until I finally fixed everything. And I'm like, okay, now it's smooth sailing. But I could have did it with that car. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't close out. You got to close out the cycle the right way, and it could be something just that small. But if you don't close out the cycle the right way, it's going to represent itself. Even if you're like, oh, I'm in a new phase of life. Yeah, you're in a new phase of life with old shit problems. Be honest with yourself. Libra. Ooh, okay, Libra. I ain't got nothing to say to you. You ain't got nothing to say to me. Libra said, I'm in my own energy. I don't even know what you're talking about. So I'm going to leave it alone. Scorpio. So Scorpio, you're going to be focusing on really trying to understand, like, how are you showing up in the, this is for somebody specific. I don't know who this is for. Am I showing up in the world how I want to show up in the world, or am I showing up in the world because this is how people expect me to show up in the world, especially financially? And a lot of us get stuck there. Oh, I have X amount of dollars or whatever, so I got to walk around looking X amount of ways instead of what feels right for you. And I don't mean by don't stop wearing designer stuff. People love that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But are you wearing it because you like it, or are you wearing it because you just want to appear nice in society? Are you wearing it because it's for you? You feel like you look good and you ain't not trying to impress another motherfucker. Because if you feel like you look good, you're going to impress somebody regardless because you being you. But when you're doing it for other people, that weighs heavy on you and you're not being yourself. You're stunting your own growth. You see what I'm saying? People don't get that shit. Because I can hear somebody say, oh, well, you get your nails done, you get your hair done, da, 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 da. For me? Because I like to look good for me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing it for society reasons. I'm doing it because I like how Taurus shirts fit. I like how the Nike slides fit. I like it for me. I'm not doing this because society says I'm supposed to do this. Society, I don't give a shit about what society says. It's comfortable for me. If I like to wear the yoga pants that go above my belly button, it's comfortable for me. If you like to wear the ones that go under and you squat down in your crack show, that's for you. But you comfortable for you. Do shit that work for you. People don't want to do that. They don't. And they want to point the finger out like, ugh, look at her, look at it. But that bitch is comfortable as hell. And that's another thing too. I wanted to, for this Scorpio, for whoever this is, you ever notice a couple, right? And this is just, and y'all can take this how you want to take it. I don't care. Tell me in the comments. When you see a couple and the woman go, babe, look at that girl. Can you believe what she wearing? This and that. Lady, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Because and a lot of people forget that when you go into a relationship, you're an individual. Just because you think this girl look crazy or whatever, this and that, you get your man to go look at another. Your point, you're telling your man, hey, go look at this other woman and judge her how I want you to judge her. In his head, or out loud, he gonna be like, yeah, baby, I see what you said. Ha 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 ha. In his head, as soon as you turn around, that man gonna take a double look because you just pointed out something to him that he won't even trying to have his attention on. Men think differently than women. Just because you think she look a throat or whatever, that man don't see that. That man see this woman is walking confident because men are attracted to confidence. It's not all the time. Yeah, sometimes it is beauty or whatever, but it's more of how a woman carries herself as a confidence, what I've noticed with men. So you sitting there pointing out, oh, girl, that girl look trashy. Look at her, what she got on. But all that man see when he look over there, yeah, he agree with you. Like, yeah, she look a hot ass mess. But damn, that motherfucker is walking her ass off with her head held high. And you over here looking like boo-boo the fool, pointing out another bitch's flaws. Why are you pointing out another bitch's flaws when your track is showing, ma'am? You know, like, you gotta remember is that you point out another woman's flaws. Then your man gonna look back at you, but like, damn, I wish you was walking around this confident and not worried about another bitch. I'm just saying, look at that shit differently, man. Come on now. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, a lot of you are going to be looking into home ownership is what I'm getting for you. And looking into where is home for you. Because where you're at right now is not home for you. You need to look deeper into that. That's why I didn't go over and explain it. Capricorn. So Capricorn, you're going to be feeding your desires here. That fire element, feeding your passion, actually putting work into it. figuring out how can I line this up with my life now. So it's like Capricorn, I feel like this has been, for the past couple of weeks, it's been like an evolution with you. It's been like an evolution, like, okay, this is where I've been keeping myself stuck. Okay, this is how I want to move forward. Okay, now this is how, and I'm actually moving forward. For me, Capricorn, I don't know if it's just the collective energy moving from the Capricorn era to the Age of Aquarius era, or this is actually individuals who have high placements of Capricorn from when Mars was in Capricorn, which was just a few weeks ago. But it's been like an evolution of the Capricorn collective that I've been feeling. So here we go. That's that. Aquarius. So Aquarius here, Saturn return. Ooh, that's sent back to sender type energy. Good or bad karma being returned back to you. Some of you, it may not be good. I gotta keep it all the way 100 with you, like for real. Some of you about to get your ass handed to you. On the hand it to you back, right back. All that shit you dished out, all that shit you was talking about other people, that shit somebody about to get blasted. I'm feeling. I don't know if this is on the internet. This feel like it might just like, damn, back to what I was saying. And see, y'all be like, oh, she talked too much, she ran. I do. But that goes back to what I was saying about when a woman's with her dude and you point out something else about another woman, and then your dude gonna look at you be like, well, at least she was confident enough to wear the shit. You ain't even confident enough to come outside without a bonnet if your hair ain't done. Somebody finna like really put somebody, like take them down a peg or a notch or whatever. Somebody is here. Or somebody, it's either one or two things. Somebody's not feeling confident enough about themselves, and so they're going to have to bring you down. Or somebody here is actually going to be like, you're talking about someone else, and somebody goes, well, let me tell you about you. And it's going to throw somebody the fuck off. It sure is. Like, I had a conversation earlier today with an Aquarius, matter of fact, and I called simply because I'm like, oh, I ran into such and such or whatever. And I was talking about something totally different. It was one of their old friends. And this person was like, oh, asked, does that person secretly still like you? I was like, I guess, a lot of people like me. I don't fucking know. And the whole thing was, I didn't bring it up that, multiple people like me or whatever, or I don't know, are attracted to me in some type of way. This person goes, well, you all right. And that's like, and it's so crazy because that's like the second time somebody has said that to me, and I didn't bring it up or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not. You may be mediocre. And then you look at somebody and how they live their life. Just because you live a mediocre life, I am mediocre. But if all the people that hang around you be asking about me, I must be more than all right. So maybe you feel that about yourself, but that's not how I feel about me. It's going to be a situation like that, Aquarius, that's going to happen. But you're going to have to either take it in, because a lot of times when people tell us about ourselves, it's projection, or what they feel like they should tell you about yourself is projection. More often than not. But in some occasions, and let's just be humble about this shit, it may be true. You got to see where this person is coming from too. You know what I mean? Like, was the opinion warranted, or you just giving your opinion about some shit because you feel some type of way about how somebody else carried themselves because you ain't on that level to where you supposed to be in life. So let me feel like I need to bring you down a notch to come back down here with me because I feel mediocre about my shit, so I'm going to make you feel mediocre about your shit. You got to be careful. You know what I mean? Like, you got to watch motherfuckers, for real. That's been happening, Aquarius, in the next couple of days. Pisces. So Pisces, ooh, you're going to be working on that body. I'm hearing that song. What's that Megan Thee Stallion song? I don't know. It's catchy, though. I can't think of it right now. But with the knees. Somebody got good knees or something like that. You're going to be doing squats. I'm feeling a lot of body work. Exercise. I don't feel like this is surgery. It may be surgery for your body. And if you choose to do that, that's on you. Just, do your research on the doctor and everything like that. I couldn't tell you how to go about that. I've never had any type of body surgery except for my eyes. So I don't know. Research it. I don't want to go deeper into that. I'm not a medical professional. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Something about the eyes, I can tell you where to go. Any of that, I don't know. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna stop doing that to myself too. I just realized, and I have, and you know, a lot of times with these readings, if you make it this far, with my readings, I get that sometimes. But you know, and I get told, oh, you talk too much. Da 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 da. Okay. Did you ever think? And I hate when people say, oh, they talk too much. Did you ever think that person was sent here to talk so much because that person was here to relay messages and to be a messenger? And then you don't understand. I think a lot of people don't understand. I'm talking about from someone on the other end of it. The person who's being told this. That's a control issue. You are trying to control someone's personality and who they are. And I really had to sit with myself because when I was younger, growing up, I would say until I was like 8 or 9 years old, a lot of people thought I was like a mute. Like for real, I didn't speak. I talked to like my mom and my brothers or whatever, and I think one of my aunts. But I didn't say much. Like I could go a whole day without saying a word. But then I would go in my room and I would be just in there talking and singing with myself and everything. And I know my mom and my brother would come and looking in. They're like, is she in there having the time of my motherfucking life? And then as I got older, I realized how much and why I was always so quiet is because I didn't trust people. It was something I didn't understand it when I was little, why I was always quiet around certain people. But as I gotten older, and I went through my phase of being the extrovert or whatever, and then going back to being the introvert, but realizing why I started becoming back the introvert is because, and when I really opened up my third eye and realized what I was really feeling and seeing clearly how I see people, even I've been like this since I was a little girl. I just didn't know like people, and people would project on me, oh, she's weird. Oh, she doesn't talk like that. Da, 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 da. I'm not, no. Even then, I was protecting myself. Because I'm still that way now, but I'm still very friendly. I'm going to say hello to you. But there's only a few people that I'm actually going to carry full-on conversations with, or I'm going to go over to your house and stay a while. Because I could see it. I could like see through people. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not the perfect seer. But, and that's where a lot of you who are intuitive and you know you have a gift. And you always and people made you feel like you were weird or you were different. And then when you got older, you were like, and then you go look back and be like, this person, you find out years later, that person was a child molester. That person was a thief. That person, did this or killed this person, da 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 da. And when you was little, you didn't put your finger on it, and you didn't know why you would tell your mom you didn't want to go over there, or you were quiet when your mom made you go somewhere, but you always stayed real quiet while you was there and stayed in that spot. And then you find out years later and then you see what this person has done to other people, and now you see that you're not crazy. And people made you feel like, oh yeah, I done been through all that shit. And people used to make me feel like I was nuts. Hell no, I wasn't nuts. No. You thought I was. Physical activity. Taking a walk. I'm going to keep that right there because I'm about to go into a whole rant. But yeah, man. I know a lot of y'all be like, you were a mute? Yeah, people thought I was a mute. For real. Spiritual career. I told you I had to tell that message to somebody who was intuitive. If some of y'all out there who just as intuitive as me, who has a gift, everybody was born with a gift, but everybody's gift is different. You need to take a walk outside and really go get you some fresh air, which I'm about to do after this. Go get you some fresh air, and so you can really step into that and have patience and wait for it to grow and have patience with yourself. I'm here to tell you, from one crazy person to another, you ain't crazy. And eventually, with patience, all that shit you was feeling, and all those times somebody called you weird and you acting funny, and then you see years later and it may not even pop up a day or two later or in that moment. I'm telling you, my mom used to say, Everything that happened in the dark gonna come to the fucking light. And it do. We just don't know when. But it do. And then you realize and you sit back, you're like, damn, I am not crazy. I knew what I was feeling was true. That don't mean you have to go back and say, like, damn, I like to that person or to that situation. But you need to confirm that within yourself. That your feelings are valid and what you were seeing, even though it was not in the present physical at that moment, but what you were seeing, because you are a seer and you are intuitive, was true. It was true. And then once you realize, learn how to protect yourself moving forward and trust what the fuck you was seeing. Straight up. Straight up. Trust that shit. Stop letting people think you crazy. If I could, man, if y'all even knew, oh my goodness. And I'm 35. And it's so funny to me. Quick story, reading's over. But for those of you who are still here, it's so funny to me. Every time I leave the house, in the city that I'm at, especially this last week, every time I left the house and like I went to just get my son's haircut, I was at the grocery store, I went to 7-Eleven, I went to Wawa, and every time I've been running to somebody that I know from like the past or whatever, who knew me in like different seasons of me. And everybody recognized me before I recognized them. And I was like, dang. And I was telling my mom, I said, yeah, Mom, everywhere I went, everybody, people was like, hey. And I was like, you remember my name and everything. I was like, dang. I said, she was like, well, you look exactly the same. I was like, really? And that's another thing, too. I want you to stop judging yourself. Like, oh, I done had kids. I done been through this. I done been, in abusive relationships. I done been through getting fired. I done lost everything, but I done gained it back and all this. And I was looking cute. I just had on, I was just in my grown woman shit. I'll say that. When I leave the house, I try to put myself together, not over the top, but I'm just put together when I leave the house now. Have on a bra, take off your bonnet. But y'all do as you so please. You don't mean you got to be lashed up and all that stuff. No, just be clean. The fuck? Put on lotion and shit when you leave the house. And it was so funny. I was like, damn, I was like, man. And she was like, oh, my mom made it just like, oh, what are you, some type of celebrity now? I was like, no. This is like people from my past. People who probably don't even know that I'm a tarot reader. But it was so cool to me. I was like, damn, people still recognize me. And nobody came up to me. I was telling my son, and nobody said, oh, I remember you from being so crazy and this, and that. Everybody came up to me like, hey, how you doing? You look good. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. It was nothing negative. Nothing negative. And this is people who've known me before I had my son. When my son was a baby, college years, high school years. Nothing negative. So a lot of the times, the negative shit that we see in ourselves, nobody else sees that but you. No one sees that but you. Yeah. So stop talking to yourself negative like, ooh, girl. Ooh, I'm like, damn, you look, guess what? You still that high vibing individual. You are that loving individual. You are that. Stop letting your self-talk or things that you're listening to as well, which are projections of other people. I'm not going to get into other readers and everything because I don't down nobody. But stop letting how other people view themselves or what you think. If you think they're talking about you, stop letting that shit seep into your head. Because it took for me to be out and about, just doing my regular, normally routine and keep running into people. Nothing negative was said to me. Nothing. I'm not trying to hype myself up. And I'm like, and I was thinking about, because I'm like, damn, I had an anger issue. Damn, this person may have seen me go off. This person may have seen me cuss out. I was rowdy, having fun all the time and all the People never, and it's like that saying, people may not remember what you did for them or whatever, but people will always remember how you made them feel. And if you keep running into people and they have nothing but positive things to say to you, you've made an impact on someone that you didn't even know. And you thinking, oh, it's a negative impact, like I'm a crazy person, I'm going to go in hermit mode and fix myself, And there are some things you need to fix about yourself. You do need to calm that temperament. You do need to get your confidence back up. You do need to fix some shit in your life. You do need to get your finances straight. Yes, 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 you do. I'm not saying you are a perfect individual, but people will remember not what you did to them, but how you made them feel. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. I was like, damn, I'm dope. Even though no matter everything I've been through, the stupid shit I done did, shit that I done lost, stupid ass relationships, shit that I done said off the fucking wall, who knows? People, I was like, damn, that's so cool. It's like God just sending you messages through people. So I wanted to share that. Like, God will send you messages through people, whether they know that God is sending the message through them or not. And that goes back to stop cutting people off, too. You see how it all ties together? But I guess I talk too much. I'm just saying, but life comes back around. It really does. And it's so dope to me. It is. And I wasn't even like trying to be like, ooh, girl, I'm finna be. No, I had on some nice yoga pants, a black tee, a little crew neck, my little crew necks I wear all the time, a t-shirt, but it was clean though. Comb my hair and running my errands. And still being out and about, because if you know me, I am a very, very polite person. I can't help it. And I'm going to speak. I might have a conversation with the cashier. I'm going to do that when I'm out and about. My son hated it, but I'm going to do it. Because you never know who you're talking to. I ain't going to sit there and talk forever. But if you start a conversation with me, especially if I got time, after I say that hello, because you never know. You never know what saying hello to someone, and giving someone an opportunity to be like, hey, how you doing? And actually listening and caring about how somebody is doing, even if it's just like 2 minutes of your time. What if you're the only person that really asks them how they're doing? What if that made someone else's day? Shit, what if it made your day? When after you asked them how they were doing, they asked you how you were doing, and y'all both listened to each other. Do you need to realize y'all exchanged energy? That was an exchange of energy, positive energy. That's why I say stop cutting people off. Because you don't know. Now, some people, and that's in a conversation, not a debate, not a confrontation. I'm just talking about a conversation. You walk in the store, hey, how you doing? The cashier be like, oh man, and they tell you about their day or whatever because they used to seeing you. And they say, well, how are you doing today? That's an exchange of positive energy. You gotta look at shit like that. People don't, and not everybody does. They don't. But everybody ain't a messenger either. Other people have other gifts. Other people, the clairvoyant, clairaudio, all of that. I don't fucking know shit. I don't want to go into that because I don't like to be wrong. But that's my ego in me too. So anyways, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. That's been my reading for the next 48 all signs. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the information is in the description box below the video. Please be aware when you book a personal let me stop. I'm going to say it anyway. When you book a personal reading with me, you book 30 minutes, plan for an hour. You book an hour, plan for an hour and a half. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit and be like, and I thought about it, I said I should get a timer. No! If the message has to come through, the message has to come through. If you got to go, let me know. Hey, Chris, I only can stay for 30 minutes. All right, then you ain't ready for a message from me. But if you book a reading with me, you're ready for the message that I'm going to give you. Okay? And I'm learning, and the thing I'm practicing too, because I do, as now this video is going 43 minutes, that I can be long-winded, yes. But I'm learning how to still, and teaching myself how to still relay the message. And that's why I'm working on my vocabulary, because some words, if used correctly, can explain an entire sentence. You see what I'm saying? But that's self-development within me. But anyways, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. And I'll holler at you another time, and I'll see you in the next 48. Bye.